What's up everyone and welcome back to List Bounce. Today we're going to be looking at 10 photos with disturbing backstories. Number 10. This haunting grey image of the 7,665 meter tall Himalayan mountain Chogalisa was taken by Kurt Dimberger on the 27th of June, 1957. Moments after this picture was taken, his companion, the illustrious alpinist Hermann Bull, who had been walking behind Dimberger, lost his way in an unexpected snowstorm. Hermann Bull wandered off the path and walked over a huge cornice on the southeast ridge of the mountain. At the time, the alpinist was some 7,654 meters up in an area known as Bride Peak. They were just 11 meters shy from the peak of the mountain. Hermann's fall triggered an avalanche, and it's estimated that he fell some 900 meters over Chogalisa's north face. Hermann's body has unfortunately never been recovered, and it still lays in the ice. Number 9. American volcanologist David Johnston appears in this picture. He's sitting down while studying volcanic activity at Mount St. Helens in Washington. Just 13 hours after this picture was taken, David Alexander Johnston would be dead. On March the 27th, 1980, a series of volcanic eruptions and pyroclastic flows began at Mount St. Helens. Earthquakes also began happening in the area, and finally, at 8:32 a.m. on Sunday, May 18th, 1980, an earthquake hit the area, which caused the entire weakened north face of Mount St. Helens to slip away. This created the longest landslide in recorded US history. An eruption column rose 80,000 feet in the air and deposited ash in 11 US states. The eruption killed 57 people in total, including David Johnston, and is known as the most disastrous volcanic eruption in US history. Number 8. While this may look like a stock picture of a normal violin, it was actually owned by Wallace Hartley, the bandmaster and lead violinist on the Titanic. It was the one he carried with him on the 15th of April 1912, the night the ship sank. Survivors reported seeing Hartley and his band on the deck of the ship during the sinking, playing to calm passengers as they boarded the insufficient lifeboats. This is the exact instrument he played. At some unknown point before his death, Hartley tucked the violin back into its monogrammed case for safekeeping, and that's how it was found, floating in the debris field by one of the ships sent to recover bodies from the wreck. Hartley and every member of his band died that night. Number 7. The men in this picture are 37-year-old George Mallory on the left, who's known as the greatest mountaineer of the early 20th century, and his climbing partner, 22-year-old Andrew Sandy Irvin, on the right. They're pictured at their advance camp on Mount Everest in 1924. 2 days later, they would attempt the summit and disappear without a trace. Many teams have ascended the mountain to look for the lost heroes. Mallory's remains were found in 1999, and as per his family's wishes, a short ceremony was performed and Mallory was buried on the mountain. Andrew Irvin's body is still missing, and evidence is inconclusive as to whether the pair made the summit before their untimely deaths. Number 6. In this picture, taken on May 11th, 2017, a group of friends can be seen relaxing at a river and having fun. Pictured here is 19-year-old Raymond Cabalfin Jr. leaping into the American River near Sacramento. A female friend who also jumped in was able to climb out, but Raymond would not be so lucky. Raymond hit the water and was overcome by strong currents and icy cold water. He was dragged under in front of his friends, who could only look on. Raymond would not return to the surface and died that very day. Raymond's body was found on May the 29th, 2017, floating about 3 miles from the area where he was last seen, having fun and jumping into the water. Number 5. Taken in 2015 on the Haiku Stairs on the Oahu Kolau mountain range in Hawaii, we see a dark figure lurking in the underbrush. This is made all the more chilling by the fact that this picture was taken by missing teenager Daylin Pua, who was 17 years old at the time. Daylin had gone hiking alone and was texting his family pictures during his adventure. Daylin would not be seen again. After a 5-day search, the Honolulu Fire Department suspended their search for Dalen. Their friends and family continued searching on their own. Dalen has yet to return home. Number 4. In the 1970s, the TV game show The Dating Game was a big hit, and it was ABC's first daytime series to be broadcast in colour on a regular basis. During the game show, a bachelorette would ask 3 bachelors, who were hidden from her view, questions, and at the end of the questioning period, she would choose one man to accompany her on a date. On one particular episode, which aired in 1978, a face which may be chillingly familiar to some of you will appear. Don't adjust your set, folks. That man is indeed serial killer Rodney Alcala, sentenced to death in California for 8 murders committed in that state between 1977 and 1979. At the time of Rodney's appearance on The Dating Game, he was in the middle of his murder spree and had already been convicted of assault in California. Alcala actually won the competition, but the bachelorette refused to go on a date with him because she found him, quote-unquote, creepy. Number 3. A family portrait taken in 1985, hiding a dark secret none could have guessed. Pictured here in the yellow sweater is American serial killer and kidnapper John Edward Robinson. He's holding 4-month-old Tiffany Stacy. The day before this picture was taken, Robinson had murdered Tiffany's mother, Lisa Stacy, after having her sign several sheets of blank stationery. He then used this signed stationery to draw up fake adoption papers and gave the baby to his brother, Don, and his sister-in-law, Helen, who had been unable to adopt through traditional channels. Robinson told his brother that the baby's mother had committed suicide. Robinson charged his brother $5,500 in legal fees, and Don and Helen received baby Tiffany and a set of authentic-looking adoption papers with the forged signatures of 2 lawyers and a judge. Don, Helen, and Tiffany would not learn the truth for another 15 years. Number 2. Taken on the 29th of June 1991, a couple smile out at the camera on what should be the happiest day of their lives, their wedding day. But this bride and groom carried a dark secret into their marriage. The 2 pictured are serial killers Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka, also known as the Ken and Barbie killers. Together, they were responsible for the murders of Carla's 15-year-old sister, Tammy Homolka, and 3 other minors. A 15-year-old known only as Jane Doe, 14-year-old Leslie Mahaffey, and 15-year-old Kristen French. Number 1. While it may not look like the happiest of pictures, the story behind this shot was darker than anyone could imagine. Pictured here is Franklin Delano Floyd holding Suzanne Mary Savakis. Suzanne was the daughter of Sandy Chipman, a woman Floyd had briefly been married to. Floyd kidnapped Suzanne in 1975. Suzanne was 10 at the time. Sandy attempted to file kidnapping charges against Floyd, but was told by local authorities that as Floyd was Suzanne's stepfather, he had the right to take her. Floyd would go on to raise Suzanne as his daughter, putting her through high school under several pseudonyms. Suzanne had a son, Michael, in 1981. It was later discovered that Floyd was not Michael's biological father. Floyd and Suzanne married in 1989. She used the pseudonym Tonya Hughes. By 1990, Suzanne, or Tonya as she was now called, decided to leave Floyd and take her son Michael with her. In April of that same year, she was found beaten and bruised on the side of a highway. She subsequently died of her injuries in hospital. Michael went into foster care and was adopted by a loving family, only to be kidnapped by Floyd in 1994, never to be seen again. In 1994, Floyd was arrested. However, the news about his late second wife, Tonya, being his kidnapped stepdaughter, didn't come out until 2014. That same year, Floyd admitted to murdering Michael, and dumping his body on Interstate 35. What's up everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that list. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.